Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss some important case laws on Indian Constitution. This is part 3. The first case is Minerva Mills vs Union of India 1980. In the case mentioned, the validity of the Constitution 42nd Amendment Act 1976 was challenged on the grounds that it violated the basic structure of the Constitution. The amendment had excluded judicial review of constitutional amendments and had granted unlimited amendment power to the Parliament. The Supreme Court, by a majority of 4 to 1, struck down clauses 4 and 5 of Article 368, holding that they violated the basic structure of the Constitution. The court ruled that Parliament's power to make constitutional amendments is limited, which itself is a basic feature of the Constitution. The judgment emphasized that the Constitution and not the Parliament is supreme. The next case is Common Cause, a Registered Society versus Union of India 2018. The Supreme Court held that right to life and liberty as guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution encompasses the concept of individual dignity. It further recognized that the right to live with dignity includes the right to smoothen the process of dying in the case of a terminally ill patient or a person in a persistent vegetative state with no hope of recovery. The court also acknowledged that the competent person who has reached the age of majority has the right to refuse specific medical treatment, reject all treatment, or choose alternative treatment even if such a decision carries the risk of death. The Supreme Court issued detailed directions in this regard. The next case is Justice K.S. Puttaswamy retired versus Union of India and others 2017. In the Aadhaar case, the Supreme Court recognized that privacy is a constitutionally protected right that primarily stems from the guarantee of life and personal liberty under Article 21 of the Constitution. The court further stated that elements of privacy can also emerge from other aspects of freedom and dignity enshrined in the fundamental rights outlined in Part 3 of the Constitution. The next case is Indian Young Lawyers Association versus the State of Kerala 2018. In the case of Sabarimala Temple, a Hindu pilgrimage center in Kerala, there existed a practice of denying entry to female devotees aged between 10 and 50 years based on certain customs and traditions. However, the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court, headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra, overturned a 27-year-old decision of the Kerala High Court that had previously upheld the restriction on women's entry into the temple. The Supreme Court stated that the dualistic approach prevalent in religion, where women are revered as goddesses on one hand but face strict restrictions in matters of devotion on the other hand, must be abandoned. The court emphasized that such a dualistic mindset results in the indignity and degradation of women's status. The last case is S.R. Bommai versus Union of India 1994. In this judgment, the Supreme Court aimed to address the rampant misuse of Article 356 of the Constitution of India, which allowed for the imposition of President's rule in states. The primary issue before the Supreme Court was to determine the justifiability of the presidential proclamation under Article 356 and, if justifiable, to what extent. In its ruling, the Apex Court established that judicial review in such cases would revolve around 3 key questions. First, whether there is any substantive material supporting the proclamation. Second, whether the material is relevant to justify the imposition of President's rule. And third, whether there was any malicious or improper use of power. Furthermore, the court emphasized that the majority enjoyed by the Council of Ministers should be tested on the floor of the House. That's all for the day. Thank you for watching this video.